Well, we're not live on Shaggy TV. Well, I guess I am technically, but doing a little race recap here for the Trackmaster Sim series. It was out last week. Didn't get race number 4 live, so not too sure how the. I honestly don't even remember who wins. I know. Well, I won't give you any spoilers, but I know who doesn't win. And let's take a look here at the starting lineup for tonight's feature. Or last Tuesday's feature, excuse me. Rounding out the field, starting on the outside of row number 12, the 62 of John Brancasio, and to his inside, the 23 of Joey LaDuce. Outside of row number 11, the 00 of Dwayne Hopkins, and to his inside, the 85 of Brandon Kiger. I clicked the wrong button there. My apologies. Outside of row number 10 in the 55, excuse me, Ollie Ferguson, and to his inside the 113 of Richard Parks. Matt Mingo takes the 12 and lines up on the outside of row number 9, and to his inside the 17 of Keith Kincaid. Row number 8, the 73 of Jonathan Smith to the outside, and Kyle Adams in the 24 to the inside. Row number 7, the 79 of Anthony Yankello lines up on the outside of row number 7, and to his inside the 92 of Tony Mott. Row 6, Trey Craig, and to his inside Steven Rex. Row number 5, Mark Whitley and Christopher Smith to his inside. Row 4, Justin Coleman in the 04, and to his inside the 53 of Jared Duda. Row number 3, Matt Sicardo to the outside, and the 3 of Jake Griffin to the inside. Row number 2, the double deuce of John Lyday, and to his inside, the 54 of Brandon Elvis. Row number 1 for tonight's 50-lap feature event at the Nashville Fairgrounds, the 117 of Jonathan Atkins to the outside, and the 71 of C.P. Peterson to the inside as they get ready to roll here. It's the first one of these reviews I've ever tried to go back at it again, so we'll see how well it works. The light should stay up for us, I think. And well, I forgot I saw CP there up front, but they do their inverts. I wasn't privy to that. I didn't know how many they were going to invert. So you kind of have to ignore what iRacing said there in the grid. Mark Whitley going to start P1, Kyle Adams on the outside of the front row. 24 machine here as we pace down the backstretch. Lights are off on the pace car. Should get ready to roll this time by. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. 50 laps to play at the Fairgrounds. We're underway. Contact right away. Row number 1, Mark Whitley and Kyle Adams getting involved here. It's 2 by 2 here. The first person to even think about singling out there, I was going to say, was the 53 of Jared Duda, but he stayed to the high side, left the gap open, and Trey Craig still trying to take a peek down low. Car's clipping that apron a little bit. Well, I was kind of maybe worried about that. So for some reason here, it's not going to want to change under these replay modes to let me know when a caution comes out. So that's kind of going to be a little different there with the overlay. And to be honest with you, I am not going to find the button that tries to manually change it. I don't want it to mess me up here on the live broadcast. But first caution. And now I'm kind of nervous here on what clicking the live button does. But we're going to figure it out together. This is where the contact started. Keith Kincaid involved. The 17 gets a shot from behind, goes around. Oh, and then gets another shot in the doors. Yellow flag flies. I click this live button. Okay, this is another thing I was worried about. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I have to click up to the most advanced spot I've seen. and work back from there. But I told the guys I'd do it for them. Didn't promise them it would be great here. Trying to piece this all together. I believe Mark Whitley is the leader. They went too far around the pace car. We're gonna... You know what? We're gonna take advantage here of this. Actually, I'm not gonna wait for them to do that. No reason to. We're getting the quick recap view here. We want to see the action. This is actually... You know, I can't interview any drivers, so this is actually the way we're going to do it. Why not? Why not shorten it up, keep it action-packed? Kyle Adams to the inside here. The 77 of Mark Whitley to the outside, rolling out a 3 and 4. He drops the hammer. Good run for the 77 of Mark Whitley on the top shelf. As we're back underway. And the caution flag's going to fly once again. We got to catch it there. Let's see here. So the software is going to do us no good. Let's figure out what happened. I think we got lucky. Tony Mong here is going to be behind the 71, I believe. Is that Christian Pedersen? Yeah, he gives him a shot. CP's able to hold on to it. But Tony, he goes for a ride. He then gets a shot. Big mix-up. You see the aftermath here is... Let's go ahead. Let's rewind. It looks like the boys maybe not behaving the best here once again. Let's go up front. Let's see what this restart is going to look like here. Go to the starter stand. Let's fire us back up. See that green flag high, ready to fly. Back dropping the hammer. Oh, and they're getting squirrely there. Able to keep on rolling. Couldn't tell what happened. The 92 of Tony Mong kind of ducked down, but right now, nobody paying for it. Able to keep on rolling. Not too sure. Steven Rex, it's got him listed so far ahead. See if maybe that will change. That's not true. Mark Whitley in the 77 is your leader out front. Kyle Adams holding on to P2, but for how long? He's got a side-by-side battle behind him. Christopher Smith, Matt Zaccardo. As I can hear a car wreck, and I don't believe they got a caution flag yet. There it goes. Caution flag does wave. And well, let's see what happened. The 79 of Anthony Yankello involved. The 72 there involved. The 00 coming to a stop. Let's see where it kicks off. So it looks like Yanks gets a shot there in the left rear. Somebody just trying to go down where there was no room. Turns him. Just like that. 7 cars involved in that one, and well, I'm glad I just saw that button down there. We don't want any driver voices coming through this thing. That could have gotten pretty out of line really fast. I'm sure there was some commentating going on between drivers. Definitely didn't want to listen to that. So we'll keep on fast forwarding here. If that's as fast as that's going to let us go, we're going to bring that back up. You see the 77 ready to drop the hammer once again. Mark Whitley's led the whole way so far. Kyle Adams hasn't really gotten that shot to go at him. The green flag flies. On the inside, here comes Chris Smith. Kyle Adams trying to fight back on the outside. Side by side going down the backstretch. Chris Smith has got to get that thing wide if he wants to complete this pass. Kyle going to try to make him fight hard, work on those tires, make him use them. 50 laps, not a super long time here, short track racing. I mean, it can turn into a long time. with cautions, but not a lot of time to destroy those tires. Don't get me wrong, you can. And oh man, I thought we were going to see a 3 wide. Jared Duda, boy, he thought about it, but he wised up. But now wasn't the time and decided to just hop back down. One's good enough for now. He's going to go to work on Kyle Adams. Kyle Adams actually going to go back on Chris Smith. Chris got a little loose down there on the bottom, and Kyle was able to come back at him. He gives him a shot going down the backstretch, lifts up that rear end. Now he's got to lift out. Didn't want to turn him and may lose 2 spots because of it. Definitely going to lose 1 to the 53 of Jared Duda. Now Duda looks to the inside of Chris Smith. Whitley loving what he sees up in that rearview mirror, but the caution flag gonna fly. I can hear cars not behaving themselves, and let's see if we can figure out what and where. We go up a little further. May have happened in turn 1. Let's see here. Yeah, he does. So, John Adkins. In that 117, we see Trey Craig getting turned. Now, how does this happen? Let's go up to the aerial. So you see Trey, I mean, got a car there, the nose almost to his door. It tried to just come down at that point. Adkins not able to back out of it quick enough. Cars kept it straight, but enough for the admins to, yeah, it does say race control admin. I believe the admins threw the caution on that one. And, well, let's see here. We'll skip forward. Should line them up here this time. Let's go back up front. Mark Whitley leads the way, choosing the high side this time. He's kind of swapped back and forth on these restarts. It's like the top, is like the bottom, but we're back going. And Chris Smith with a pretty good restart, able to hang around, but not enough. Roll him to P2 for now. And here comes that 53 of Jared Duda. We saw him almost make it 3 wide. Out of nowhere, Justin Coleman takes a peek. And boy, oh boy, back under caution again. And man, I love you guys. You guys are lucky. I did this for you. The next time you ask me to do a race review, you tell them to behave a little bit. We're under caution again. I believe that's caution number 4 here. 11 laps. You're seeing Trey Craig. He was the culprit in this one. He drives in. He has to check up. And, well, the guy behind him didn't get the memo. He gets slammed from behind, goes around. Tough break there. The 92 of Tony Mong gets into him. And Tony towed that thing back to the pits there real quick. I think his night may have been over after that one. We're going to skip ahead here. Let's go back to the green flag. You see they're already 3 wide at the line. Man, oh man, CP was stuck on the high side. Not where you want to be. Played it smart, lived to race another day. And will that come into play? Will he be able to race his way back up to the front after playing it smart early on? We'll have to find out. Jared Duda to the inside. Gets those elbows out, moves up a little bit in the center of the corner, tries to dive it off. You see they're side by side entering 3 and 4. Can he get up and shut the door on Chris Smith? Not just yet. Chris saying, I'm still there, but the 53 of Duda gonna look to clear him this time, coming out of 2, able to do just that. As now Chris gonna come back with a little shot of his own. He drives in there deep, gets into the side of the 53, and well, Duda, he's gonna remember that. He definitely didn't drive him in that deep a couple laps ago to 1 and 2. And man, oh man, Chris Smith able to hold on to P2 for now. Will that come back and haunt him later? Is the battle heating up behind? Justin Coleman trying to get to the outside of Christian Peterson in that 1-4 machine. Supposed to be an 0-4, but paint ain't matching. The numbers, they're 3 wide. This probably isn't going to work. Yeah, they do make it work somehow. Boy, oh boy, that looked like it was going to be trouble. As the caution flag flies. What brought out the caution here? Let's see if we can get some help. Well, I think we may have just gotten a little bit of it. Trey Craig. Let's see here. Try and go up to an aerial camera. We'll slow it down. Trey gets a little help there from the 00, and this was not a race to write home about. Caution flag waves, and I believe number 5. So we skip ahead. Green flag back out. Mark Whitley leads the field to yet another restart. Battle on for second. Duda and Smith back at it. Smith laid the wood to him a couple laps ago through 3 and 4. Does Duda find a way to get back down to the bottom? Maybe return the favor. So we watch him come off too. Man, get as close to that wall as they can. Duda trying to find a way around. Got those eyes wide. Trying to make it stick. Can he do it? He had P2 at the line. Smith doing a good job of keeping it down there through 1 and 2. He floats up a little bit on exit. Has to baby the throttle. And just like that, he's looking at the rear end of the 53 one more time. Lap 20 underway. 31 laps to go here at the Fairgrounds. Let's take a look. Ollie Ferguson up 11 spots, up to 9th, started 20th. Great run for this 55. Stuck on the top shelf though right now. Car in front of him a little slower, maybe not the pace he wants. And we'll have to see if that 55 can try to find a way to get on around. Falling back down to 10th here is Justin Coleman, that purple machine, trying to make the bottom work. Gets a little help from behind. There's contact. No caution. We continue. As never mind, they do get a caution, and well, they were able to keep it straight. That's short track racing. I don't think we would have got a caution there. So the driver who asked for that caution, shame on you. You ain't getting one of them in real life. You were never getting that where I race. Let's skip ahead here as we get close to the halfway point. Green flag flies once again. Lap 23. The 77 trying to make that outside work. Is Jared Duda. Wait, timeout. Timeout. Jared Duda. He was P2 when this thing got going. What kind of restart did Mark Whitley have? We're going to go up top. The 77, he controls the start here. 53, Duda, he goes a little early. I don't know if they caught him on that. Well, I don't know if I'm bringing new information, but you could see it there. He has the speed boost. And Whitley, I mean, already nice enough to give him the bottom. That's going to be a tough one to come back on. Will Duda be able to hold on to the lead here from the rest of the way? Only 26 more laps to go. It's Kyle Adams right now running P7. He's kind of fallen back a little bit. Started up towards the front after that invert. Just hasn't been able to hold on. He gets a little shot coming out of 4. Christian Peterson trying to work on getting his way into the top 3. 71 machine trying to find grip coming off the corner on the bottom, but it just wants to float up against that wall. And you got to pinch it down coming off the corners. You're really losing speed, and let's see if he's going to wish he could just get to that high side and roll around the 54, but Elvis doing a good job of holding him off for now. Already a feature winner this season. Could he get another one as Christian Peterson dives down to the bottom? Gonna try to take a peek. Can he get it to stick? The answer is no. And look at Elvis. He makes a little move here. He dives to the bottom. Got a battle for P2 here. 23 laps to go. Calm down here, getting some green flag racing, and just as I say that, a little rubbing up front. CP trying to get to the inside. He had to back off, and Chris Smith thought about sending it in. Wised up, got back in line, and realized we still got 22 more trips around the sun. Plenty of time. You don't want to send it in there and make a mistake that's going to wreck somebody else and get you sent to the back. Smart racing here with a little over 20 laps to go. Lide trying to get to the outside in that blue machine. Got moved up the hill just a little bit there by Chris. Gets down to the inside. Does he return the favor? Not able to take a peek just yet. Gonna send it in. Get as close as he can to that rear bumper. Let's hop on the nose of the Double Deuce. See a couple cars up the road there. CP trying to go back to work here, get in that final podium spot. Just not able to do it. Now we see guys try to make it work coming out of 2 on the bottom, but just can't do it. You out of the throttle too much on exit. Can't power through. CP trying to make it work. Little contact between those two. He's got to hold his ground, though. Got to make it stick. Elvis bounces off the wall. Comes back down, and CP says, I'll tell you what, Elvis, you bounce off that wall, hit me again. You're going to leave the building here. CP holds that yellow line. And in reality, maybe needs to make that thing a little wider. Rough him up a little bit in the middle of the corner. You got fenders. Use them. Dude out front after... Well, I don't have to interview anyone tonight, so I don't care if anyone gets mad at me. After kind of stealing that restart there, jumps the gun, and Whitley just looking, I mean, head in his palms. Wondering what more he could have done different. He looks to his outsides. He sees Elvis up there, and I think we're going to see a pass get completed. CP thinking about making it 3 wide. Oh boy, the 77's got to crack the throttle back out of that one right as the caution flag flies and spoils some good racing up front. Let's see who's to blame. For this one, contact between Ollie Ferguson and, man, Trey Craig. It has just not been a good night for the 43. Goes to the inside and... doesn't look very good for Ollie Ferguson. Drives in there. Opens up the bottom, lets him go by, and then, well, comes back down, gets into the back of him and wrecks him, and ends up collecting a bunch of other cars as well. It's a tough break. Not the way you want to end a long green flag run. They were a heck of a battle up front. You're not up front per se, but for the second, third, and fourth. Hell of a battle, but let's skip ahead here. Duda back on the restart. And it looks like Elvis, he maybe may have went a little early, returned the favor. He's going to pinch the 53 down. Normally that leader, if the guy on the outside doesn't jump, I mean, it's just the way it is. You're the first one to hit the gas. You're going to win the race down into the corner, but get aggressive. They're rubbing here. Duda trying to pinch him up, and at the same time, Elvis not trying to give him a lot of room. They're side by side. 13 to go. Christian Peterson, best spot in the house. Let's go on the nose. They rub again. Contact. Man, oh man, this is what I love to see. Short track racing at its best. I said you got those fenders, use them. Elvis was thinking about a cross under. Not able to because the 71's down there knocking. And just like that, Christian Peterson trying to move on up to P2. 11 laps to go. Duda may have some company here in the closing laps. The Double Deuce and Kyle Adams battle hard here for that 6th and 7th position. John trying to keep to that outside. Kyle doing his best to push him up in the center of the corner. But John just not going away. That pesky little brother. And CP's reeling in the leader. Cue the jaw music. 9 laps to go. He's a little higher in the middle of the corner, tries to diamond off and carry a lot of speed, but you see that 71 kisses the outside wall, getting a little too aggressive here in the late stages. And with 8 laps to go, cars sliding all around. I believe that was Atkins there in the 17 machine. Man, all but lost that right rear coming off of 4, real close to getting in the outside wall. Lide still on the outside. Able to get around Kyle Adams. Now working on the 80 of Chris Smith. Smith tries to drive that thing in there deep. John gets in the gas a little too early. Has to back off the throttle. And just like that, Kyle Adams back to the inside. Brandon Elvis driving away a little bit now from the 71 of CP. He felt the pressure. Well, Christian's kind of calmed down here. He's lost touch. I wonder if the tires have fallen off of it as we're getting to 5 laps to go. If you're going to make a move, you got to do it now. And that's exactly what Chris Smith is doing. To the inside of Mark Whitley for P4. Whitley with a better run going down the backstretch on that top shelf. But as we come to the start-finish line, 4 laps to go. Battle still on for P4 and a couple spots back. Kyle Adams to the inside of Atkins. Atkins getting that high side to roll. As we look up front, 3 laps to go this time by. We're seeing CP really fall off the pace. Not sure something's going on with that race car. Possibly out of fuel to the inside. Not going to like the looks of that. 2 laps to go. It's going to be a 2-car race barring a late caution. Can Elvis find a way around? This 53? Or can Jared Duda hold him off? Through 3 and 4, looking to get the white flag. 1 more trip around. Duda got the lead off, possibly jumping a restart, but hey, you got to take it out. You can get it. Final time through 3 and 4. Elvis sends it in deep. Can't get to the rear bumper. Checkered flag waves in just like that. Jared Duda takes home week 4 at the Fairgrounds here in Nashville. Brandon Elvis P2. Chris Smith rounds out the podium. John Lide P4 and John Atkins rounds out the top 5. But that's going to be our race recap here for the Trackmaster Sim Series week 4. Make sure you tune in every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, to watch their weekly series here at the Fairgrounds. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV, thanking you for tuning in. Have a good evening.